Hi, welcome to Bible Time with Aunt Kat. Today we're going to talk about joy, and we're going to talk about someone who had a lot of reasons to not be very joyful. Remember, we talked about a man named Saul that Ananias went to and taught him the truth because he had been hurting Christians and putting them in prison and having them beaten with rods and all. And Ananias went to him and taught him the truth, and he was baptized. After that, he taught many people about God and about his church. And he wrote books that we have in our Bibles today, in God's Word, wrote a lot of them. But along the way, he had things happen to him that would make most people very sad and angry and upset. But not Paul. This is going to be Paul. His name was changed to Paul because that was what Saul meant in Greek. But he was beaten for teaching God's word, and that would shake me up a lot. Wouldn't it shake you up if somebody beat you for telling the truth? And then they threatened to kill him? Yeah, that would shake me up too. They stoned him and left him for dead. And they threw rocks at him until they thought they killed him. That'd be an awful way to go, wouldn't it? And he was shipwrecked on an island. He was in prison. He was in jail. And even when he was in jail, he still even wasn't shook up at all. In fact, at midnight while he was in jail, there was a terrible earthquake. But you know what the jailer found Paul doing? He and his friends that he was with were singing. They were joyful. Just see how that's jumping around? It's jumping for joy. Well, he was joyful. Now, do you think he was happy that he was in jail, in a cold, dark, damp prison, or that he had been beaten, or that he had been stoned? No, he wasn't happy about it, but he was happy to do what God wanted him to do. And he writes about joy so much. Even in the book of Philippians, see, it's still trying to dance. See it wiggling? Yeah. Even in the book of Philippians, he wrote about joy over and over and over. He uses the word joy or rejoice or joyful 20 times in that book. And he wrote it when he was in prison. I don't know if I'd be that joyful if I were in prison, would you? But he was. And it was because he knew that God loved him and saved him and was going to take him to heaven when he died because he obeyed him. And that made him so happy that he wanted to tell everybody about it so that everybody else could go too. So joy is a choice. Now, it's something you choose to do. He could have chosen to have been angry and threw a fit for being in jail, but he chose to be joyful. Just like, let's see, if Mom was to cook liver and broccoli for supper, would you be joyful? I doubt many of you would, really. But you can either pout and go, bleh, or you can be thankful that she also made potatoes, which are your favorite, and that you've got food to eat at all, because some children don't in the world. And when you go to clean your room, You may not be happy about going to clean your room, but you can be joyful that you have a room and that you have all those toys and clothes that need to be picked up, because many people don't have those things. So you can choose to be joyful. And the more joy you feel, the better you feel. And the better everyone around you feels. And so when you're sad or angry, you just don't feel like doing anything. And it makes you feel like kind of drawing in like that, just shriveling up and dried up inside. That reminds me of our verse. That reminds me of our verse. And it is, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. A joyful heart just makes you feel good all over. If you're joyful, you feel good and everybody around you feels good. But when you have a broken spirit, when you're sad or angry, it just kind of dries you up like a dried up old skeleton inside. Yeah. So think about things that can bring you joy. And we're going to sing this verse this way. A joyful, joyful, joyful heart is like good medicine. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Let's do that again. I'll try to go a little higher this time so I can get it better. A joyful, joyful, joyful heart is good medicine. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Can we do it one more time? You do it with me this time? A joyful, joyful, joyful heart is good medicine. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22. Let's say it again. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Proverbs 17:22. So this week, think about things you can do to bring more joy to others. And that will make you feel more joyful. And thank God for all the things that you have, because that brings joy too. And the more joy and gratitude you give, the more you get, and the more joyful you'll feel. So don't forget, a joyful heart is like good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. And I don't want any of you to be all dried up. That's it for today. I'll see you next time on Bible Time with Aunt Cat.